This training lesson covers the topic of data collection using flat files. And in order to demonstrate these capabilities, we'll start with a procedure that we created in the last training lesson where we do some data collection. We'll go ahead and make a little room here. And we'll go ahead and add an edit control. So for the purposes of this training lesson, we'll go ahead and collect a status and a condition and a serial number. We'll create a variable called serial number. That'll be text and 20 characters long. And we'll assign it to our edit control. We'll call this the serial number edit. And we'll collect that into the variable called serial number. And we'll create a new button. This will be the button that we use to actually add this record to our flat file where we're collecting information. We'll call that the save button. Create a new procedure to add this information that we've just collected to the file, our flat file. And we'll attach that action to this particular button. And the main purpose here is to append a new record to the end of the file that we're collecting into. And the type of object is an append object. But before we append, we will have to copy for that append, copy some values out of our variables into our record buffer. And that'll be a calculate miscellaneous type of object that allows us to do those copies. We'll also need a file format to save this information into. We'll call this the serial number.txt. And the type will be a fixed length file, also referred to as a flat file, with a carriage return line feed at the end, because the append object will always append a carriage return line feed to the end of each record. Now we'll go ahead and add our fields, which would be the status, which is a long integer, and the condition, which is also a long integer, and the serial number. Which is text 20. So now once we click on the save button, having filled in all of the values that we'll use for writing to our file, we'll go into the save and we'll do our copy for append. We'll use a method called copy from, and we'll copy from the variable status into our record buffer, which is serial number status. We'll copy from our variable condition into condition in our record buffer for our serial number.txt file. And we'll also do that for the serial number itself. Now we've filled in all three fields of our record in our record buffer, so now we're ready to perform the actual append itself. And the only argument we need to supply here is the name of the table that we're appending to, which is serial number.txt. Once we do that, we can go ahead and return OK, and we'll come back to our modal dialog box. One thing that's helpful is to go ahead and clear the serial number edit control once the record has been saved. That gives the user a visual indication that the save was successful. So let's go ahead and add a new object to the save procedure, and we'll call that clear edit. That's an update control. So once we do the append, we'll do a clear edit, clear the control, and that's the serial number edit. Let's go ahead and try that out. Well, of course, we haven't attached our collect button to anything on our main menu yet, so let's go ahead and create a button for launching that. And we'll call it collect and assign the action so that it will launch the collect procedure. And let's try running that. We'll click on the collect button. It brings up our collect modal dialog box. We can either check or not check our new button. We can select a condition, and we can type in a serial number. When we click the save, we'll notice that our serial number has been cleared, and so we can be assured that our record has been saved. So this is how you would go about building a flat file with the data that you're collecting. We can just choose cancel to exit out of the application. You could then go to your project folder. In this case, our project folder is the test folder within the Retriever software folder. And you can see there's our serial number.txt file. And we would expect it to have a length of 30 bytes. That's 20 bytes for the serial number, 4 for the condition, 4 for the status, and 2 for the carriage return line feed. And so everything is as it should be. What you would normally do with that flat file is then to go ahead and upload that to the COM manager, where a background process would parse out that serial number information and generally save that into a database. We'll save those instructions for a later lesson.